All right, so if you know anything about this channel, you know damn well that I like. No, I don't like. It's not. That's a horrible thing to say. I hate the fact that there's a lot of bad cops out there, and there has to be reviews done on them. It's a crappy job to do, but I honestly think if we want to change cop culture together and actually get these men and women, even though I don't want women cops out there anymore, righteously doing the job, you have to armchair quarterback. I'm so tired of, well, we don't know the totality of the circumstances. You weren't there. In most cases, sadly, in today's day and age, with how the media is, social media and all that, nobody wants the totality of the circumstances. They want to crucify you cops on the street immediately. And if you don't get in front of the idea that, man, whatever I just did on the street is going to be in the public eye tomorrow, 30 seconds of a 90-minute call that I just took, and it's going to be based, the entirety of my character is going to be out there. And next thing you know, I'm going to be having to move. If you don't get in front of this and start embracing that as how law enforcement works, then you're in trouble and the profession is doomed. I want to take a look at this video. This is by Inspector J. I want to see if the opposition is just as fair, right? Because my goal, ultimately speaking, is that I believe if the community and the culture of policing is going to change, and that relationship between the police and the public are going to ever be healed, I think that it's the police's job to take the first, most aggressive, hardest step forward, and the majority of the work falls on their shoulders. Well, that's not fair. Well, that's how it is. If you don't have a 50-50 relationship with the police and the public, show me where the public can arrest the police for their accountability. Show me where the public can sit there, follow a cop somewhere, say, hey, you were speeding, here's a citation. Oh, by the way, you were texting at the same. Show me the fairness. It's not. So if the police have all this responsibility, what they could do and how they can ruin lives, then I think it's on their job. The onus is on the police to step up and go, most of the hard work is on our shoulders to improve the relationship between the police and the public. We need to be far more educated. We need to know the Fourth Amendment better. We need to know the Constitution. We need to know exactly what our authority begins and where it ends, why it begins, why it ends, who gave us that authority. We need to be fit and in shape, and we need to have a certain mentality. The onus is on the police. I want to see if the opposition is just as fair, or is the public, like I say, a bunch of people who just either like the police or don't like the police. They take no fucking accountability or responsibility for themselves, and they think that everything should be done, but not at their hands or their efforts. This is Inspector J. We're going to check out his stuff. Do not forget, though, you could support the channel. We love your support by buying my book, Before the Badge, Everything You Need to Know Before You Become a Cop. It's by Words Matter Publishing. It's available at Amazon.com. You can also click the link to go to the PayPal for Cop Talk Live, Changing Cop Culture, and you can support us that way. Most of the content I put up on YouTube does get 18 and over because it's a very heavy, sometimes controversial topic that is just not suitable for all viewers. Therefore, we're not sponsored by YouTube half as much as we'd like to. Share the videos, get the subscriptions up. Let's see if we can break 100,000 and then go from there. And as always, getting a hold of me is extremely easy. 708-982-0974 is my direct line, or you can send an email to Officer Dominick Izzo at gmail.com. Let's watch this together. Again, thanks, Inspector J. We're going to listen to your side about when corrupt cops realize they've messed up.
It feels like evil and corrupt cops are everywhere these days. And in times like these, it's always a satisfying moment to see them mess up and face the consequences of their actions. These cases highlight...
I'll break this down, and I don't want to talk over a lot of it. That's the difference between you and I. I don't take any satisfaction in seeing any citizen arrested, prosecuted, because I try to put myself... I have no sympathy for anybody. Not an ounce of sympathy. But I have empathy. I know that hard times suck. People are shitty. The laws sometimes are utterly ridiculous, and I know that they break them. But honestly, I've never been one of those people that's like, oh, that guy just beat his wife 1,000 times. I'm glad he got arrested. No, man, that guy's fucked in the head. And since I can't go and tune him up, then the punishment's never going to be equal to what I think he should get. I'm gonna break this down into a, you know what? Sometimes the bad guy wins. Sometimes the good guys win. And I try to remain very, very, very emotionless when it comes down to criminals getting what they deserve. That's not my role. When it comes down to cops, corrupt cops being arrested or called out, I hate it. I hate it because why are there so fucking many of them? It's heartbreaking. It really is emotionally heartbreaking. I take no satisfaction. I just can't figure out why some of these dumb shits can't learn a lesson as we're almost in 2025. But let's continue.
Just that. Especially this first one where an innocent jogger got arrested for no reason.
Where's your RAS?
Again, an innocent jogger gets arrested for no reason. Listen, there's always reasons. And if the cops 100%, which, okay, this guy got arrested for no reason. This jogger got arrested for no reason. That's what we're going into this video for. So I'm about to see and witness. Remember, I don't watch any of these videos until I watch them with you guys. I'm about to see a jogger get arrested for no reason. Let's see what happens.
It's funny? My freedom is funny to you? Yeah, no, it is. It's hilarious. I just asked you to stop.
On April 18th, 2023, Ryan Theodore was jogging a few blocks from his house when a police car started following him. Realizing something was fishy, Ryan took out his phone and started recording.
No, thank you.
Yes.
No, thank you.
No, come here.
Are you detaining me, sir?
Yes, I am. Stop.
For what crime?
Stop.
What is your reasonable,
Turn
articulable?
around.
Do not touch
Turn
me,
around.
sir.
Turn
For
around.
what have I done?
I'm detaining you. Turn
For
around.
what suspicion? What is your reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime?
Yeah, multiple calls about you.
What is your RAS? This is unbelievable.
A couple different things. Remember, according to the Inspector J, this is a jogger who was arrested for no reason. And I just want you to be fair, and hopefully maybe some of my terminology and some of my criticism will make you guys do better content as well, just as much as your content will make me do better content, so that we can actually not bullshit and lie and manipulate one side over the other. This guy's jogging. Why is he wearing fucking jeans? Who jogs wearing jeans? Now, I take that back. I used to be in grammar school, and I remember this old dude that we used to sit there and walk. We used to, the bus would drive past at a certain road, and we watched him for 2 years go through this weight loss journey, and he could only walk in the beginning. He was in jeans, and after about 6 months, he started jogging, and he was still in jeans and a sweatshirt, and then ultimately, I think his daughter bought him a jogging suit. So he jogged in jeans. Maybe this guy can't afford it, but this guy's wearing jeans. He's wearing jeans. Secondly, you got a couple cops there, which means they got a call on him. So, this might not be the no reason. Let's hear why and see if I can qualify the reason that he's being placed in handcuffs right now.
Unbelievable. What is your RAS?
Here's a fat cop with no vest on. Probably this has got to be a supervisor. Yeah, because he's got no gun belt. He's got the leather belt. That's it. No duty belt whatsoever. So fat, out of shape cop. I don't know what the town of Kent is like. I don't even know where this is at. But already, and if he's laughing, already, here's a clown. Here's a clown fucking cop who should retire. But we'll just keep going.
What is your RAS? It's funny? My freedom is funny to you? Yeah, no, it is. It's hilarious. I just asked you to stop. Why would you do that?
Yeah,
Yes,
you are when criminality is afoot, and we do have a
What is your
complaint matching
reasonable,
your description.
articulable suspicion?
The officer, who seems to treat Ryan's freedom as a joke, is actually Chief Owens of the Kent, New York Police. The police suspect Ryan of being the person going door-to-door harassing people, according to the caller who reported it to dispatch.
Okay, so hang on a second. You got a caller. I want to hear this. I want to hear exactly what he just said again. Hang on.
The police suspect Ryan of being the person going door-to-door harassing people, according to the caller who reported it to dispatch.
Kent Police Department.
Hey, what's going on? I live over at Seton Road. I just saw somebody ring my doorbell. I usually have no problem with people like soliciting around, but dude was like looking up and down my house. He stood there for a little while. He was writing stuff down, and then I saw him on the Google camera going to my driveway, and it looked like he was looking at my truck. I don't know if you want to just send somebody over there to see what this guy's doing over there. He's not at my property anymore, but I can describe him to you. Yeah, he's wearing like gray pants. It looks like a tan, like Carhartt type hoodie. It's nail white.
You can clearly see that Ryan did not match the description.
Now, let's break that down for a second. So a couple different things. Now, I don't know this town, was it Kent or whatever? They could be bored off their ass. It could be a little Sleepy Hollow where they have nothing to do. But a lot of times, callers don't get all the facts right. So let's back up for a second. Do you think legitimately, if we're always going to talk about a crime and what's the reasonable articulable suspicion that, or the probable cause the police can stop or detain you, then do you really think that the cops should be wasting their time? You call. It sounds like this guy's at work and he still has the door camera available. And just because he sees somebody on his property, so what? Why is that a police? Is that a crime? Is it a crime to go to somebody's doorbell and hang out? And we don't know the length of time. He said a while. He doesn't have a length. This was 20 minutes. What is a while? A while is going to be relative to the definition of the person, right? Maybe 30 seconds was a while. He went over to my truck. Maybe he looked inside. Oh, this is a cool truck. What's the crime? So automatically you expect the police to just drop everything and go and make sure your property's okay. I'm not saying that's right or wrong or I agree with it or disagree with it. I'm trying to put in a context that, man, this is what the public expects. Secondly, what are you looking at? The clarity of a Ring camera, yeah, it's great, but you're relaying information. My father's colorblind. If I wore a green or a red sweatshirt, he wouldn't know what the difference is. So if you're saying all you got is sweatshirt and pants, what do you say, tan pants? We can see that, but the dispatchers can't see that, right? And the cops can't see it. So now if all you have is a subject of a male white in the area, that's going to be the two factual things. It's either male white or male black. Sometimes Hispanic can be a male white. That's how the caller will see them based on their perception of the skin tone. But right now you got a male white wearing a hooded sweatshirt and pants. Well, what are you going to do as a cop? This is what maybe what cops should do, and you citizens will have to deal with it. You expect the police to show up to your home to investigate no crime. The guy didn't do anything. He rang your doorbell. He wrote something down, looked at your truck and left. What's the crime? What's the reasonable articulable suspicion that you want the police resources sent over there, right? So now do they have a duty? Do they have a duty to investigate? I don't think so. Okay, great. I drove past it and didn't see anything. As far as I'm concerned, based on that information alone, you don't have any probable cause to stop somebody. If there's multiple calls in the area, that could be a solicitor complaint. And if the village ordinance has a solicitation, then maybe, hey, then you ask questions. Hey, are you going door to door asking for, are you soliciting people? Yeah. Now you can engage the conversation, right? You can't just get out of the car, put them in handcuffs, all this shit. When it comes down to, let's just say it's the only person in that area. Well, if you called 5 minutes ago, dispatcher sends the information out to me. So now it's 8 minutes later, and we have this stretch of road, and there's only one guy walking, and he happens to be wearing a sweatshirt and a pair of pants, a hood, and you've got a hooded sweatshirt, white guy. You can still ask questions. I'm not saying that I like the cop jumping out of the car, putting the guy in cuffs. No, I didn't hear anything so far of anything that would put him into cuffs for. He's not dangerous. He's not a burglar. I had once, we had a guy who was breaking into people's homes. He had a great tactic. It was day shift, and what he would do is he'd go door to door, knocking on the door, and if somebody answered the door, he'd go, oh, hey, is Joe here? Oh, I guess I got the wrong home. And he would break into the homes. He'd kick in the front doors of the homes that nobody answered. It took 6 months. It took 6 friggin' months to find him. I found him. Going around day shift, saw a guy knock on a door. I'm looking from a distance. Knocks on the door. A woman answers the door, walks away. We had slim description of this guy. Male, white, mid-20s, all this shit, dark hair. And I looked at him and I go, I sat there and I go, dude, you break into people's homes? And we started the conversation like that. I was busting his balls. Long and the short of the story is, did an investigation properly, which led to a show up, which led to an arrest, which led to his Mirandize, which led to him confessing to all the homes that he did. So there are times when you can stop people, and it's the way that you actually interact with them and have conversations with them that lead to the next thing. So I am not all about jumping out of the car, putting people in handcuffs, unless the circumstances dictate that. So let's continue.
Even if they didn't have his image at that point, the clothes he was wearing were very different.
We don't have to give all that.
Again, it doesn't matter. It does matter, but it doesn't matter. If you're gonna have to go and take into consideration. Well, let me look at it this way. What if the caller got it wrong and this guy was going murdering homes, right? He just walked in, killed a family of 4, and the caller said, "Yeah, I guess I'll guy in a beige hooded sweatshirt walking past this guy's gray," and the cop goes, "Yeah, that's clearly not him." Now what? If you're going to ask cops to do your fucking dirty work like this shit, hey, I want to go just check on this guy, then you have to give them a little leeway. The leeway now is the conversation. I still don't know what they have in handcuffs for. We heard, oh my gosh, I gotta get this really quick here. We heard Inspector J say that there was, sounded like multiple complaints, but only one caller. But again, for knocking on the door, they call that a dick. This is a detective. That's a chief. So you got 3. Here's 4 over here in the corner. What did he do? What's the crime? So already it's kind of like, But again, Jay, you got to be fair on this. If we're going to talk about cops arresting people for no reason, you really have to set it up the right way. Hey, this guy's not jogging. He's out walking. He's wearing jeans. And he's out there on the streets, whatever. This is 1300 hours. So it's 1:14 in the afternoon. All right, April, kind of in New York, April 18th, still kind of chill. There's nothing wrong with this guy walking in the middle of the day. There's nothing illegal about it whatsoever. But you can't open your video and say, this guy was jogging, he got arrested for no reasons. That's disingenuous. That's not going to lead to us solving any problems.
What is your probable cause?
I have plenty of it.
You do?
I do.
I've never seen you before.
Well, good. Nice to meet you.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah, it is,
This is happening in America?
Yes,
I just saw that.
You shouldn't be looking through people's windows.
Would stop a man in their home at the wrong address, and then this is the follow-up in this country?
Let's talk for a second.
No, I don't want to talk to you. I want to be released and free. Oh, this is unbelievable.
We'll bring him down for...
Just stand with this officer for a second.
Now, let's talk about Miranda for a second. Does he have to be read his Miranda rights? Depends. The formula for Miranda warnings, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. That's your Miranda warnings. You must, and I encourage everybody to get out that piece of paper, read it verbatim to them, sign it that you read it, and then ask them to sign it. If they don't want to sign it, they don't have to. Custody plus questioning equals Miranda. Now, is he in custody? 100%. His hands are cuffed behind his back. He knows he is not free to leave. He's got 4 police officers surrounding him. He knows he is not free to leave. He has not been arrested. He has been detained. There's a difference. Arrest is when you're charged. This is a detainment. That's it. So we also have to get our terminology right. When you say a jogger was arrested for no reason, no, a guy who was walking around in pants, jean pants, whatever, was detained by 4 police officers for no reason. We'll find out. Again, we're trying to piece together the reason for this. I want it, man. If I could make sure this fits, great. I want to do that narrative. But I'm with you. I'm 60% with you right now. So far, you're just not wording it the right way. What if he didn't have handcuffs on him? If the cops got out of the car and they said, it's all how you present it. And I really want you guys to understand your rights as a citizen. Do you have the right to walk down the street? You do. This is a roadway that has no sidewalks. So now you're in a position, because the cop could have said this, yeah, you're being detained for pedestrian in the roadway. Illinois has got a statute for that. But then the argument is there's no sidewalks. Well, then you're walking too close to the center of the road or you're obstructing the roadway. Again, too, and this is the shit I hate saying, all traffic laws are designed for the police to stop you no matter what. Vehicle, pedestrian, moving violations, you could be so creative. And let me, oh man, I'm going to go all over the place here. Let's just say for argument's sakes, you've got something pretty thin, right? We go back to the original bullshit of this call. And the guy says, I got a guy knocking on my door, and you're like a cop. You really want to do this investigation, but you don't have probable cause to stop him. You don't have reasonable, articulable suspicion. You can say, well, I'm stopping pedestrian and roadway. If he's too far to the middle, right, and you're behind him and he's obstructing traffic, I would rather you stop him based off of that for your detainment. Because if you detain him with no probable cause and this guy just murdered a family, you know it's all getting dropped. So if you don't know the law, know the law. And now you also see, like I keep saying, policing is creative writing, right? Policing is creative writing. If he did not have handcuffs on and the cop got out of the car and there's two things, there's an ask and there's a seizure. Hey, come here right now. That's being seized, right? You're not free to leave. That's a detainment. It is, hey, can I talk to you for a second? Could you come here for a minute? Now you're asking. The problem is most citizens, when they hear that, they're under the assumption that that's an order because they just see the badge and the police officer and they're like, oh, tunnel vision. If the cop said, if I'm a lawyer and I find all this out and the cop's like, well, I didn't seize him. I asked him if he could come there. I go, officer, how many officers were on scene? Well, there's 4 of us. And how were you standing? We're all standing all around him. Is it fair to say that my client at that point believed in his mind that he was not free to leave the scene? Well, he didn't ask us. It's not what I asked you. See what I'm saying? Now it's perception. If they all surround him like that, no handcuffs, and they start asking, hey, did you just break into that home? And he starts answering questions, fruit of the poisonous tree if he admits it, because they didn't read him his Miranda. Now, you can seize somebody. And I'll back this up too. You can, no detainment. If somebody wants to walk up and engage with you in conversation and you just go, hey man, did you just go over there and kill that family of 5? Yeah, I did. And they admit it. Well, that's absolutely acceptable because you didn't demand anything from them. They weren't seized. When you start asking them questions that are not necessary of Miranda, if you have probable cause that a crime was committed, not in this context, I'm not feeling it yet. If they say, what's your name, what's your address, they do not need to Mirandize you. They do not need to Mirandize you. Where are you coming from? Where'd you go? Were you over at that house over there? Actions that were relative to the crime that's being suspected have to be Mirandized if somebody is in custody. If they're not free to leave and you're asking them those type of questions. General questions, how tall are you? What's your eye color? What do you weigh? Things that are not relative to the crime, you don't have to Mirandize them. That's why address and name, you don't have to, you didn't remember rights. I don't have to at those points. But I would suggest this. If you're a cop and I used to do this all the time. Hey, listen, you are not under arrest. You are not being detained. I'm going to read you your Miranda warnings regardless because I think that I want you feeling comfortable enough to have a conversation with me. Is that acceptable to you? I always read Miranda no matter what.
I don't want to.
Okay, that's what's going to happen. We're just going to talk for a second.
This is insane. Is anybody available to film this?
No, you're being filmed right now.
No, I want a private. Are you seriously? What is your reasonable suspicion?
Have a seat.
Now, do they have to tell him what he's being arrested for? No, they don't. No, you don't. You can, if you lawfully have the authority to arrest somebody, then do it. If you have the lawful authority to detain them, do it. If this guy, if a legitimate crime is being investigated, yes, you could handcuff him and you could put him in the back of the squad car for detainment. So far, what's the crime? Guy was at my house, ringing at my doorbell, looking at my truck. Okay, what's the crime? Well, I want you to go, somebody needs to go check it out. Check what out? Again, let's back this up. Why are the police wasting resources on this? Because you, the public, well, that's what I pay for. No, you don't. No, you don't. I mean, you can pay for more cops to be in the area, to circle the block, to be a little bit of a detainment so that somebody would be like, okay, I don't want to do that. But no, you're fine. You got a Ring doorbell. No crime was committed. You've got the image of the person on your Ring doorbell. You're fine. You don't need the police.
This is incredible that this is happening in America.
Oh.
I'm a free man.
Okay, see what he's doing. This is a mistake he almost made. Now, he put him in the back of the squad car. No matter what, if you put somebody in the back of the squad car, I always articulate the same thing. You pat them down for weapons. If you're not under arrest, They are not under arrest. You cannot go into their pockets or clothing. What you can do is pat down for weapons. And I articulated that every single time I dealt with somebody, even if it was on a Terry stop. Hey, listen, you're not under arrest. I'm just so you know, I'm going to just pat you down for weapons. All I'm going to do is rub my hands over the outside of your pants, make sure you got no weapons on you. That's it. And I never had an issue with it. When you go in their pockets now, it's a search. And again, if you take a cop that's got 3 months on him or a cop who's got 3 years on him, the difference is then is their articulation as well too, right? So the purpose of a pat down is I go over and I crush the materials of your clothing, and if he feels something that's hard, and I can articulate this is a hard a metallic object that was indicative of a knife or a gun, then I can go in your clothing and take it out. If I go and I crush it and I feel a bag, and I know damn well it's a bag of weed, I can't. The new guy can't go in your pockets. They can't, because you're patting down for weapons. You're not searching prior to an arrest. You following me so far? You guys better learn your rights. But if it comes to a seasoned officer, if I go back on and I crush and I feel, because of my training and experience, I can articulate that the subject had contraband or controlled substance on their persons. I can go in and pull the bag of weed out of their pockets. You guys better learn what the law can do, because they can do a fucking whole lot.
No, I want a private. Are you seriously?
So if you watch this, he puts him in the car, and then he goes to go in the sweatshirt pocket.
That this is happening in America.
Nope, can't do that. Can't do that, dude.
I'm a free man.
He's patting the outside. He is patting. Yeah, I don't know what the hell you're doing.
What were you doing?
You should have done. Oh shit! And he's asking him questions. He should not have put him in the squad car and then pat him down. How can you? You have no idea if he's got a gun in his waistband, knife in his waistband, all this stuff. But then all of a sudden, now he's being fully detained. This guy is a seizure. He knows he can't leave. And then what do you hear?
Done no wrong.
Well, now you're detained.
That's fine.
What were
Well, he tells him, now you're detained.
you doing in people's yards looking in their windows?
What are you talking about?
I
You
know
have
exactly
evidence
what
of
I'm
this?
talking about. Absolutely.
May I see it?
Yeah,
I
multiple
want an
calls
attorney
about
present
it.
for any questioning.
Okay, that's fine. You can do that. That's your right.
Why are you doing that, dude? If there's a crime, right, you're not allowed to look into somebody's windows. And that's the crime. And whatever. And so your town has a city ordinance that it's a fucking misdemeanor to look into somebody's home. You have reasonable, articulable suspicion. You have probable cause to detain and arrest someone. Because here's the deal, too. You don't need to ask him questions, right? If it's a hardcore law that says you can't ring somebody's doorbell, and this guy was the guy that was on the camera doorbell, and the guy comes to the police department and says, here, look, or he sends a text message, this guy just rang my doorbell. The cops go, oh, awesome. They find him. They arrest him. They don't need to interview him. No, do not need to interview him whatsoever. You've got proof he was on the doorbell, rang, just charge him, send him to court. You do not need to interview him. You want to interview him because it'll sit there and add to your case the right way for a good, righteous conviction. But why did you ask him questions directly related to a non-crime in this case? If it was a crime, why without Mirandizing him? You fucked up. Let's keep going. I don't know why the audio's off on their body cameras. I don't know if I'm not a fan of that.
When the cops actually tried to investigate the matter, they conveniently turned off the audio on their body cams so as to not reveal that up.
All right, man. We're trying to figure out what's going on, okay? Listen, I know. I'm going to tell you, explain to you what. You don't have to talk to me. I'm just going to explain to you why you're in the back of the car right now, okay? I'd like to know. We got a call from several people saying that there's somebody entering properties, knocking on doors,
Poking in windows.
and you match their description. So that's why you're.
What's the crime? What's the crime? So he's on their property, he's knocking on doors, and he's looking through windows. What is the crime? What if this guy, I don't know, does one of those roofing jobs where comes to your home after hail damage and just wants to know if the homeowner's there to see if they could use their insurance for deductible? What's the crime? This is not good.
Where you are? Yeah, Ring doorbell camera.
Oh, okay.
So that's what it is.
That's fine, and we will. And we're confirming that. You're only being detained right now. Okay, you're not under arrest.
What do you mean I'm not under arrest?
You're not under arrest.
We're just trying to explain to you what's going on.
What you say?
I want to see something really quick too with the badge difference. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So you can see here the first badge on this cop.
No, thank you.
Okay, that's an eggshell badge.
Yes.
No, thank you.
Turn around.
What have I done?
Okay, it's a clear town of I forget what it is. You know, that's a shield badge.
Turn around.
I
Reasonable.
want to see the chief too.
Suspicion of a crime. Yeah, no, it is. It's hilarious.
Chief Owens of the Kent, New York Police seems to treat Ryan's freedom.
Okay, chief's got the same type of badge, but when these guys walk up, they've got the NYPD shield. I want to look, and this might be this looks like NYPD. So, this will be beautiful. Let me look at this for a second. Okay, town of Kent. Let's go Kent, New York. KENTNY. Kent, New York on the map. Is this close to New York City? No, well, it's clearly. I don't know how this map. Let's see. Yeah, this is New York. And Kent borders. If this here, look at this light. I don't know. You guys can write in this comment section. Is this lighter section here? That's it. Does this border New York? I don't know how this works with the fucking jurisdiction of New York because it looks like New York is all this shit, right? So my point is this. If these are two different badges, and maybe this is not, you have two different badges that show up on the scene, and I don't think these are just detective badges. I don't think so. Let's see when they walk up. What kind of influence is done on the non-city cops? And that's what I'm asking. Because we had an issue here, I think it was Glenview, Illinois, many years ago. What happened is Chicago police pursued, or they got involved with a pursuit for some drug case that ultimately ended up in Glenview. And because the Glenview police were intimidated of the big bad Chicago Police Department, they let CPD take over their stop. Because they're like, oh, these are Chicago police. Ultimately, Chicago police, I believe, violated some rights in the stop, and that led to the conviction being overturned. So my question on this is, do we have something similar to that? And I don't know. And you guys could put there, this looks like the badge says NYPD. I don't know. I don't know how that works as far as that state goes, that city. My question simply is, do we have two conflicting police departments? And because one feels intimidated by the other's presence, great. If that's the case, why are these fucking if these are NYPD, why are they talking to a suspect that's in another car? This is just more bot shit.
When the cops actually tried to investigate the matter, they conveniently turned off the audio on their body cams so as to not reveal that up.
All right, man. We're trying to figure out what's going on. Okay. Listen, I know. I'm going to tell you, explain to you what. You don't have to talk to me. I'm just going to explain to you why you're in the back of the car right now. Okay. I'd like to know. We got a call from several people saying that there's somebody entering properties, knocking on doors,
Poking in windows,
and you match their description. So
if it's we, then I'm going to say this is either county or it's detective badges for it. But again, too, it's still important if you live in a bordering town or state like Chicago versus a suburb, LA versus a suburb, New York versus a suburb, and you see that you know where you're at jurisdictionally wise, but you've got the bigger city, not the county sheriff, but a bigger city interacting with you, then, I'd be like, I'm not talking to you. Go the fuck away. Because a lot of cops just love to come, play, and then leave without doing any paperwork.
That's why you are where you are. Yeah, Ring doorbell camera.
Oh, okay.
So that's what it is.
That's fine, and we will. And we're confirming that. You're only being detained right now. Okay, you're not under arrest.
What do you mean I'm not under arrest?
You're not under arrest.
We're just
You're
trying to
being
explain to you
detained.
what's going on.
The crime is what you say.
Yeah, you're not charged with a crime, but you're not under arrest.
You don't know what the word arrest means.
Okay, well, you're being
Arrest
detained
means
right now.
subdue.
Okay.
Detainment would mean to hold.
But I'm not here to
This
argue
is
with you. Can we
arrest.
just explain this?
Exactly, but I am still under arrest. You put me in handcuffs and
Now, you're being detained as far as the technical points of it go. You're not being criminally charged. But still, in my opinion, there is no reason they have him in the back of the squad car. Because now what they're doing is, we got him in the back of the squad car detained. We fucking better find a crime to arrest him on. Because remember, I told you creative writing. Okay? What if it found out this guy was going in the backyards of people's dogs or murdering people's dogs in the backyard, right? But they didn't have that information to begin with. So now the creative writing process starts where, hey, we just found out 3 dogs are dead in the area and they all got stab wounds on them. This guy had a knife on him. Okay. So now you're going to take him back and you're going to fucking interview and interrogate him until you can fit the timeline to where you found out that you have a subject who murdered dogs. That was the reason why people were suspiciously calling him in. That's why you stopped him and charged him. It's all a fucking bunch of creative writing.
That's your definition of it right now. At this point, we're just talking. We're explaining your circumstances.
you've done more than talk, sir.
Okay, very fine. I don't care what you say. I'm just explaining to you what's going on right now. We're confirming if you match the description of that person right now. Okay. If you don't, and there's nothing wrong, you're going to be released. Okay.
He just said it. If you don't and nothing's wrong, you're going to be released. So is that what we're doing now? We're just arbitrarily stopping people and we're checking to see if something is wrong. You can't. You're a reactionary department or unit. Yeah, you could prevent crimes from your presence, but there's no such thing as pre-crime. This is not this is not Minority Report. And God, if it goes that way, everybody's screwed. How can you say that if nothing's wrong? We'll and then wrong is semantics. How about if there's no crime broken? Oh, so wait a second. You have to see if I committed a crime first, and then you're going to continue this? Dude, they're digging themselves a hole. And sadly, this happens a lot more than people think.
I wasn't here for that. I'm just telling you what we're here to do.
You cannot do this to somebody. You have to have the evidence first,
Sir.
before you can detain somebody.
I didn't put handcuffs on you, did I?
Now, if I've got that door camera, what do you call it? Ring camera of video of him murdering dogs, and that's the evidence I need for the crime, then I'm not going to talk to him. I'm sure as hell not going to talk to him on the back of a car in a scene. I'm not going to, I didn't Mirandize him. I've got video proof that this guy matched the description of somebody who's stabbing dogs in the backyard. All right, awesome. I'm not going to tell you. I do not have to tell you why you're being detained. I do not have to. When I start interviewing and interrogating you, yeah, I do. I'm just not going to give you that. I'm going to let you just wonder, what am I doing if I have all the evidence, because then I don't need it. I don't need anything else. So yeah, this part where they're still talking because they don't have anything.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Somebody did.
Of course. And now you're being detained, and that's
No,
it.
I'm under arrest.
Okay.
I haven't
All
been thrown
right.
formally
We
charged
try to
with a
tell
crime.
you what's going on, okay?
We just wanted to let you know what's
You
going
did,
on.
All right.
but you didn't tell me why my
Okay.
license was on.
He's really not under arrest? Is that why Ryan was handcuffed and sitting down in a patrol car?
He's being detained. Remember, if you're going to do this properly, he's just being detained. That's it. You can detain somebody lawfully and they're still not under arrest. Traffic stops. You're being detained. You're not free to leave, but you're under arrest. Or excuse me, you're not under arrest, but you're not free to leave. You're being detained. So I know it's a seizure. You're still being seized. So arrest, you got to be looking at it as a Fourth Amendment violation, not a criminal charge. You got to be looking as a federal issue. He was being detained. He was being seized. In my opinion, unlawfully seized. That's a Fourth Amendment violation. Four cops to stand around not knowing what the fuck they're doing or what they're, and he's probably texting dispatch right now to try to get information. Oh dear God. This is a joke. Yeah, this one, I don't like this one. Skip ahead a little bit.
What did he say to you guys when you were talking? Yeah, basically just the, you can't arrest me anymore.
What?
Just being difficult.
Oh, he can be difficult. They're allowed to be difficult. Remember, that's free speech.
Before you
Ask him if he knows this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, probably now. See, this is how they're going to dig themselves out of a hole, because probably dispatch just got the picture of the door camera ring. So now hear what he said. See if he knows this guy. Now he's going to go up, and now that we got to link. See what they're doing? We have to if they can link him to the guy who still rang a doorbell and there was no crime committed. They're in their minds, we can still hold him, and now we can interrogate the both of them. Oh shit, dude.
Hi, man. Here's the deal.
After receiving an image of the real suspect, the officers take a walk of shame to confront Ryan. However, in typical police fashion, they refuse to admit they were wrong.
That looks like me?
Sweatshirt. Well,
You have to find that out beforehand. Before you can, you don't have reasonable articulable suspicion.
Well,
you
we had
broke
two
the law.
No,
You are the criminal
no,
in this instance.
No, so we had two
Yes, you
separate
are.
incidents.
You are
you
violating
with
under
anyone
color
else
of
up
law.
here?
I do not answer questions.
Okay.
I already said I want an attorney present for any questioning.
Okay, we're not.
You are
questioning
again
you.
violating my rights. What do you mean? You just asked me a question.
Okay, hop on out, buddy.
Is that an order?
No, I'm just you want to sit in the car.
I like this guy.
Here's your water. The phone's sitting on the hood of my car right there. You can grab it.
Could you back up? I don't want anything to happen here.
No, you're good. You're not gonna hurt me.
Yeah, you do. I do? You seem like you do. I wanted something to happen. Yeah, you seem like you do. Look what they did to my wrist.
All right, the second part of this video is when he goes and he tries, I did skip ahead, to try to get the FOIA information of the body camera. It looks like it turns into somewhat of a Fourth Amendment audit from that point, and I'm sure there's chaos ensues. Yeah, the issue I have with this is that, man, at what point do police stop being the butler of the citizen? I mean, and I've known towns that, hey, 123 Main Street is that town. We're gonna get their mail and bring their garbage up to their door. It's, what? No, we're not. So at this point with this video, I don't think it's Jogger is unlawfully arrested. I think it's citizen is leveraged by the articulation and storytelling of police and unlawfully detained. He's illegally seized. It's not an arrest because he wasn't charged. At least that's, I agree with the same definition, right? Detain is detained, arrest is arrested, it's charged. But in this, man, it's the same damn shit. You got cops, and now you could see, especially with that last part, see if he knows who this guy is. That, if they had a crime, guarantee you, I 100% guarantee you, if the other guy was going on stabbing dogs or knocking mailboxes over, or putting pipe bombs in people's front door, I don't know what it is, and they were able to, this guy's not connected whatsoever. He doesn't have the same sweatshirt. He's black, and he's a female, whatever the case is. They're going to sit there, and once they get that picture, say, oh, look, yeah, I know who that guy is. Boom, now you're detained. And they're going to look to charge him with the same shit. Same shit. So what is the ultimate saying I keep saying? Don't talk to police. Do not talk to police. Fish only get caught when they open their mouths. Yeah, I appreciate this. Good video. Inspector J, go check out his channel. I think it's good content. I just wanted to watch that first part of the detainment. I think it's a bunch of garbage. It just blows me away, the amount of cops who just don't exercise common sense. And again, if you know in the comment section what those badge differences were, I'd be very curious to read it, because again, I know how a lot of little departments or suburban departments feel intimidated by the bigger departments, even though, man, 90% of the cops in the bigger departments are just, they don't have the training and experience at all, or the law knowledge about stuff. Suburban cops need to have more confidence in themselves. Stop folding under the pressure of a different city when it comes down to your call, because it is going to get you massively charged up and in a jam. All right, guys, don't forget to join Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. We go live, and I'll take your calls, and we'll talk about all this stuff. Have a great damn time. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like the video. Send it to your friends, all that stuff. Be safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video. If you want the truth about the mindset of police, how they do what they do, why they, and when they do it, and why they keep doing it, then subscribe to the channel and check out all the videos I've done on this subject. Join me live every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. We watch a video together, and then you call in. Do you agree? Do you disagree? How can we change cop culture together? Getting a hold of me is easy, 708-982-0974, or send me an email to officerdominickizzo@gmail.com. Guys, you can support the police and still remember you have rights. Don't talk to the police. Keep your mouth shut. Remember, fish only get caught when they open their mouths. Thanks for the support to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.